puts peace and reconciliation as essential pillars towards achieving sustainable development, human rights, and universal stability. For the United Nations, lasting development cannot take place without peace, and peace in itself can only be sustained when the root causes of conflict is addressed through reconciliation and inclusive governance. Back here in Rivers State, the news of reconciliation among the key political actors in the state stimulated exciting reactions with commendations from the populace on the positive implication of the reconciliation on governance, project execution, stability, and security for residents. Our guest on Panorama will be sharing his thoughts on the latest development in Rivers State and implications for development in the state. Ahead of the National Security Summit by the National Assembly, the Senate Committee on Army is on oversight visit to military formations across the 6 geopolitical zones to gather information that will help in securing the nation. Chairman of the committee, Senator Abdul Aziz Dua, stated this during interactions with the government officials and military commanders in Katsina State. National Assembly correspondent Isa Mohammed reports.
The legislators visited 171 Battalion Barrack in Daura, headquarters of 17th Brigade in Katsina, and inspected some completed and ongoing projects. The brigade commander, Operation Fansanyama, Brigadier General Bimbola Omo Pareola, briefed the committee on activities of the task force.
Destruction of their camps and recovery of weapons and equipment, as well as rescue of kidnapped victims that were subsequently reunited with their families.
The committee and government of Katsina State assured of more collaboration in support of the efforts of the security agencies to succeed in the fight against terrorism in the state.
The Air Force, the police, the DSS, civil defense, and I think for the first time, I see the synergy between all the security forces. And they have also accommodated our own security architecture.
Continue to collaborate with the state governors to ensure relative security is achieved in the country, thereby opening doors for development and economic activities. Most importantly, the security of lives and property of Nigerians.
The oversight continue in other geopolitical zones of the country. From Daura, Katsina State, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
The Intelligence Agency, DIA, has accredited 6 foreign defense attaches and advisors posted to Nigeria. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General Emmanuel Udiadeye, performed the ceremony in Abuja.
The accreditation and presentation of certificates to these defense attaches and advisors is the final stage of documentation for the new foreign military diplomats posted to Nigeria. 6 defense attaches and advisors from Angola, Brazil, France, South Sudan, and India were accredited to Nigeria for diplomatic assignment.
We, on our part, will do everything within our power to make your stay a success, but to also improve upon our relations as sister countries through training, through defense acquisitions, through diplomatic exchanges, and many more relationships that promote our national interests of our 2 nations.
Foreign defense advisors and attaches are not expected to correspond directly with services headquarters or the defense headquarters without passing through the agency.
Through this unwavering support and effective facilitation, it enables us to carry out our duties with efficiency, clarity, and confidence. For this enduring support, we are truly grateful.
They were charged to abide by the doctrine of Defense Advisory System and be good ambassadors of their various countries. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Collaboration and drive growth in Nigeria's textile industry, stakeholders from the cotton, textile and garment sector paid a courtesy visit to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. The meeting highlighted key opportunities in the industry. Shehu Muhammad Dati reports.
These stakeholders from the cotton, textile and garment industry are on a significant mission to engage with the government on ways to revitalize and grow the sector. Discussions centered on crucial issues affecting the industry's competitiveness and sustainability.
But then there were certain developments that affected the industry, and that is why government quickly accepted this suggestion from your own group to put up this board to ensure that there is a revitalization of that very, very vital sector.
We have no doubt that under your leadership and your continued support, the CTG sector will drive prosperity, job creation, and industrial growth for Nigeria.
The recent approval by the National Economic Council to establish the Cotton, Textile and Garment Development Board triggered the stakeholders' request to seek the constitution of the board and its inauguration. This move aims to revitalize rural communities, boost non-oil export, and reduce textile import dependence.
Since the cotton board was dissolved many years ago, this board will play a pivotal role in bringing the sector back to life.
Most importantly, it's commendable also that this board is going to be industry-driven. It's not going to be like maybe some other boards that, people who are not vested in the industry are the one driving it.
The stakeholders affirmed their commitment to work with the federal government to reposition the sector as a cornerstone of economic diversification. In Abuja, Shehu Muhammad Dati, NTA News.
River State Administrator Vice Admiral Bokete Ibas has charged newly sworn-in permanent secretaries to uphold the principle of accountability and execute their roles effectively as administrative leaders. He gave the charge at the swearing-in ceremony of 8 new permanent secretaries at the executive chambers of Government House, Port Harcourt. Osnachi Samuel reports.
Vice Admiral Ibas, while swearing in the 8 newly appointed permanent secretaries, says the stability of the public service, clarity of policy direction, and the integrity of government operations depend largely on their leadership. He urged them to drive institutional reforms, embrace innovation and digital transformation, as well as eliminate inefficiencies in service delivery.
This ceremony signifies more than a routine administrative exercise. It is a solemn reaffirmation of our commitment to institutional reform, performance-based leadership, and purposeful service delivery. Your appointment today must be seen as a direct contribution to that national mandate. The civil service is the heartbeat of any administration.
The ceremony marks a significant step in the effort of strengthening the administrative framework of River State, with high expectations for improved service delivery and policy implementation. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
The judiciary is one of the arms of government that plays a critical role in national development, especially in justice delivery. However, they are faced with myriads of challenges, leaving many Nigerians in doubt about being the hope of the common man. In this report, Emmanuel Lene examines the powers of the judiciary and how to strengthen them.
The judiciary plays a critical role in societal growth and development. One of its core roles is to interpret and apply the law, settle disputes, safeguard individual rights while maintaining the rule of law, ensuring equality for a just and equitable society. However, the Nigerian judiciary, seen as the hope for the common man, has in recent time been plagued. Despite the wide allegations against the Nigerian judiciary, many say there are many who can still be trusted.
Opinion of most Nigerians is that judiciary has not been performing their duties as expected by the people. And there are so many reasons why they are not performing to the expectation of the people.
General apathy by some lawyers to work with speed. Not all lawyers, some lawyers. They believe that the longer a case takes to be concluded in court, the more money they are meant to earn or they could earn.
It appears the judiciary has disappointed the populace. But as it may appear so, the judiciary itself has constraints. And the constraint is coming from the Constitution.
The only way to strengthen the system is to discountenance the issues of appointment of judicial officers.
Observers say strengthening institutions like the judiciary will rekindle lost hope, making it the hope of the common man. In Port Harcourt, Emmanuel Lene, NTA News.
Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri of Adamawa State imposes 24-hour curfew on Lamude local government area of... We'll take a short break now, and when we return, Panorama continues. Stay tuned. Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri of Adamawa State imposes 24-hour curfew on Lamude local government area of the state. This followed reoccurrence of violent attacks and breakdown of law and order in some parts of the area. The governor, in a statement, appealed to the people of the area to remain peaceful, as government will not condone any act of breach of peace. Meanwhile, the Adamawa State Police Command is already enforcing the order with the deployment of more operational assets to the affected areas and urge people to comply with the curfew. Across Nigeria, there are increasing concern over ethno-political tensions with their implications on the economy and social cohesion. Stakeholders are advocating the adoption of peace and reconciliation to support the drive for development in Nigeria. Kingsley Amaji reports.
Peace creates a safe environment for people and businesses, opening doors for investment. On the other hand, reconciliation helps divided groups or communities forgive and rebuild, fostering a sense of unity and nationhood. To some respondents, peace and reconciliation are strategic for national development.
Any society where there is no meaningful peace, there will not be development. However, there is no place where there is total peace, not even in the US, not even in Israel, not even in my own place. So there are always issues of upper. But peace is a panacea for development.
In the light of the political crisis that rocked the polity in Rivers State, proponents are canvassing for investment in peace building towards an inclusive future.
If we want peace in Nigeria, this peace deal, let us be sincere to the people of the state and let everyone involved in it put in the best to ensure that it is perfect.
We thank God we are making progress. We thank God the parties have decided to choose the path of peace. And the way it's coming out, we believe it will be in the best interest of the society. No investor will want to come in the absence of peace.
At the National Front, analysts want the authorities in Nigeria to begin to adopt peace and reconciliation as tool towards reducing ethnic, religious, or political tensions, which will in turn promote mutual respect and dialogue. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
And to throw more light on the issue of peace and conflict resolution is Ambassador Ambrose Sopru Chukwuopo. He is the Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria River State Chapter. You're welcome, sir, to Panorama.
Thank you.
Okay. Talking about peace now, what are the causes of major conflicts in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. Cause in Nigeria, we know most of these causes, which is one, weakness in governance. That's part of the government.
Of course, here we can also talk about unemployment as one of the challenges here that we're facing. So I think when proper attention is given to these areas, the Boko Haram insurgency and all that, we all know about them. But if we must get rid of these, then we'll have to focus more on the causes.
Okay. Do you think the youth have a share in these conflict issues we're talking about now?
Of course, youth remain the driving force. And as a matter of fact, youth must be involved. So when we talk about insurgency, the people who perpetrate these acts are youth. So that's why we say we have to build the youth. So when the youths are being given the right attention, build them properly, then already you're automatically building the nation. Yes.
Okay. So let's probably look at possible resolution measures. What do you think are the possible resolution measures when we talk about, peace, conflicts and all that, and peace?
Okay. Too many, but to make up a few.
Okay.
Peaceful resolution here, you must consult. Let's talk about consultation, mediation. And this mediation has to come through a third neutral party. Then after getting to know the root causes, then you're not going to the resolution. Okay. So proper consultation and engagement definitely will lead the way to proper peaceful resolution.
So how would you appraise the reconciliation efforts of Mr. President on the River State crisis?
Though I would say the effort of the president, of Mr. President, was actually timely. Okay. And that has actually yielded fruit to the peace that is running back to the state at this point. And I think having intervened at that time, well, we all frowned, but at some point, we now realize that peace is priceless. And there is no price that is too heavy to pay for peace. So we really commend Mr. President for looking at peace, as a matter of fact. And we want this peace to be sustained. The sustenance of this peace is what we're talking about at the moment. How do the political figures sustain this peace?
Okay.
Because we have actually faced terrible challenges here in Rivers State. And this is something that we do not want to see again. We don't want to experience again in Rivers State. So in as much as we're talking about peace and reconciliation here, we should understand that sustaining this peace should be the center of focus at the moment.
Okay. So moving forward now, you're telling us that we should sustain this peace that we have now, especially from the key holders or everybody in River State.
This process has to do with everybody, including the government, the politicians, and the citizens of River State, the indigenous of River State. So everybody must put their hands together to sustain this peace. But this peace can only be sustained when all democratically elected institutions has been reinstated to govern the people of River State. Without missing was, we all know, let's tell ourselves the truth. We all know that the state at the moment is not smiling. So the only way to sustain this peace is to reinstate all democratically elected institutions in the state to function in a different capacity.
Okay. You said peace is priceless. So far, do you think there are lessons that we have learned or should be learned from what happened in River State and every other peace reconciliation process?
Yes, well, what we learned here, it's obvious. We've learned here that it's not even good at all to go into tussles that will not benefit the state.
Okay.
And this part we do not want to We don't want to trade on this part anymore. Okay. So I have to, here, without missing what I will also say that whatever it takes to maintain peace, I think anyone in the future who eventually attains the position of leadership will imbibe and do the part of peace. Prioritize peace and maintain peace.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's say finally, what is your parting words to Nigerians on the need for peace and tranquility for the sustainability of ongoing development in the country?
Okay. Peace is essential and should be upheld at all levels. So when we talk about peace, then it must go to the extreme, meaning that it must be peace all around and should be peaceful. So maintaining peace is essential.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay, to youth now, what's, apart from, especially the youth now, what is your message to them when it comes to maintaining peace and sustaining peace, please?
Okay. To my fellow youths, I want to say that they should not be allowed to be used as tools to cause problems in the society.
Okay.
They should be knowledgeable enough to know when they are manipulated, when they're being manipulated to cause chaos in the society. They should deviate from anything that has to do with problems and causing problems all around the community or the society. So definitely, I would say that peace should be maintained by the youth. The youth should focus on the part of peace and trade on the part of peace.
Thank you, Ambassador Ambrose Okpo, for coming on the program and sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And up next is Sports Update with Peter Oibo. It's on Panorama from Port Harcourt Network Center. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.